friends, welcome to my channel, Bad Decisions and Pure Awkwardness. I'm your host, Elizabeth. It's been a while, and I'm going to sit here and do my makeup and explain why. Today I am drinking a Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, mixed berry, and it is gluten-free. It says it right here on the can, and I spent about 20 minutes looking on the internet to see if it was in fact gluten-free. If you hear things in the background, my washing machine is running and it's right here, literally right there. And my cats are playing, so please be patient and kind. Right now I am using sunscreen, the Neutrogena Hydro Boost water gel lotion. I was using this Pacifica priming lotion before, and I ran out, and that is my favorite. I haven't been using too much primer lately, so I've been using sunscreen at least. A lot has changed in the last year, or well, more now, since I posted my last video. I'm going to explain why I haven't been active and what's been going on in my life, and don't really have an idea of what I'm doing as far as makeup goes, so I'm just gonna sit here and play. Right now I'm in a room, it's my spare bedroom, and it's also the cat's room, so they have toys everywhere. I think I'm gonna use this Juvia's Place Blush Rose palette. It's a super neutral palette, but I think it's really, really pretty. I don't know, something just told me to buy this. You know, they never play. They have a tunnel. Literally never touch it. I just decided to play with it now. So, I have been absent for quite a while. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But I'll talk about the first reason because it is probably what has been holding me back from posting the most. And that is my technology sucks. I was trying to, after I posted my last video, I was still filming videos, and I think I'd filmed like 2 more ready to edit. And I edit on my phone because, well, I was editing on my phone because my computer was a little slow, and it was just quicker for me to do it on my phone. So I was editing on my phone, and then suddenly it tells me I don't have any memory on my phone, which seemed weird. I mean, I hadn't even had it for 2 years yet. October of this year would have been 2 years. So you'd think it would last, you know, at least 2 years as far as memory goes. I tried every way I could think of to like get memory back, I guess, and it just wasn't working. Like, I would delete all my apps from my phone so that it said I had plenty of space, and then I'd go to edit a video and the furthest I could get was I could edit the entire thing, but then when it came to actually like export it to my phone as a video from like iMovie, it said I didn't have any memory. So that was super frustrating. Well, then I was like, you know what? I'm going to export it onto a USB hard drive and plug it into my computer, and then edit and export it there. My computer did the same thing. No memory. Tried factory resetting both. No, couldn't do it. So I had some friends that said, you know, oh, come edit on our computer, and which is really kind of them, but it was hard to like match up our schedules to where I could. And then they had a baby. So definitely don't want to bug them when they had a baby. Just edit some videos. I probably filmed, I don't know how many videos that are just gone. So end of July, I was just so annoyed with my phone because every like 3 days it kept telling me I didn't have enough memory, even though I had basically nothing on my phone anymore. So I got a new phone. So I'm currently filming on my iPhone 12 something, 12 Pro. And I haven't been having issues yet. So fingers crossed that I can get this all uploaded. I am going to get a computer. A lot of people were like, oh, just go buy like a cheap one. And I'm like, I don't want to buy a cheap one if I'm going to continue to edit videos. Like, I want something that's going to last, because I don't want to buy a computer and then 2 months later down the line have to buy another one. I'm just going to save up and buy the one I want. So hopefully in a couple months, the quality will get a little better in these videos. So that's my technology so far. I'm hoping the things continue to improve. And I know people say like, oh, you can start a YouTube channel anytime you want. Yes and no. Yes, but make sure your technology is up to date. Because if you try to work off of something that just isn't working, there's no point in filming, honestly. If you have a really good friend that has a good computer that you can edit on, do that. But my advice is not to spend your money all at once. You can film on an iPhone. Just make sure it has memory. So the next thing that prevented me from posting so much was my job. So when I started this channel, it was in the middle of like our quarantine here where I live. I was working from home, so it was a lot easier to film and edit. You know, I could do my work, immediately close my computer, and film and edit. When I started to go back to work, that meant, you know, sitting in traffic, which is usually like 15-20 minutes each way, which takes a lot more time. And I still tried, but it's a lot harder when you work a full-time job. Once I went back to work, I was working maybe 2 or 3 days in the office, just to kind of still try to socially distance and whatnot. And that was fine and all. And then I think it was around the 4th of July, so end of June-ish, they told us, okay, like, everybody can come back full-time now to their offices. Which I was kind of sort of like, I don't know, on the fence about, because I was super lonely working at home. I mean, I think everybody has experienced loneliness with COVID and everything in one way or another. So in that aspect, I was like happy to come back to work, but at the same time, it was really nice to be able to stop hurting each other. Hey, but Waffles. One moment, I have to break up a fight. You guys are like children. Around the 4th of July, I was supposed to go back to work full time. But the numbers in my county spiked, and they were like, no, never mind, everybody's going back home and working. Okay. So all in that same day, then they told me, nope, you are actually going to work somewhere else, temporarily. So, and I've worked in this place before, so it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a huge transition or anything. I pretty much knew everybody there, or most of the people there, pretty well. It did make me a little nervous because at first they told me, oh, it's probably gonna be 2 weeks. Then it was like, oh no, probably gonna be 6 weeks. Okay. Now it's gonna be, you know, probably next month, and there just wasn't like a sure answer to anything. So it made me very, very anxious, not knowing, you know, if I was gonna be able to come back to my regular job, how long I was gonna be there. I think everybody underestimated how long this was actually gonna go on. I don't think anybody really knew, which understandable. No, even the CDC doesn't know like what's going on half the time, I feel, or at least in the beginning they didn't. Then I'm kind of thinking, okay, well, am I even gonna have a job when this does all end? And I was getting more and more anxious about that. And right around that time, there was a position that opened up where I was temporarily working. So I decided to apply for that and got the job. And so that's where I've been working since February. And I was, you know, it was a sigh of relief. You know, I have a full-time job. I kind of have job security, you know, now. So it was, you know, sigh of relief. However, this schedule, I work evenings, so that makes it a little harder to film because I can't just come home from work and film because it's like 10, 11, midnight, 1 o'clock, sometimes, occasionally. So that makes it a little more complicated. But I do want to film during my days off or before I go to work. You may see me a little less luscious from now on because if I film before work, obviously I'm not going to be drinking. That might make people worry. I'm happy to have a job. I just am also, I'm gonna have to plan better. I'm gonna have to time manage, which is not easy because that brings me to my next point. My mental health has not been great, which I'm sure a lot of people around the world are also experiencing this. You know, like I was saying before, working from home, not seeing my friends was hard during those first like 6-8 weeks of lockdown. So that made me super sad. I mean, I feel like I'm an extrovert for sure. No, I need people. And I realized that during lockdown that I have to be around people. If I was just working from home and this wasn't, you know, a crazy time for everybody, I would still have the opportunity to go and see people. And I probably would have been fine. But because I was working from home and not seeing anybody, it was just very isolating, and I got in a really depressed state. I don't know if I've mentioned it here before, but I know I've mentioned it plenty of times on the internet. And I try to be as like open and honest about it as I can. I have chronic depression, anxiety, PTSD. It's a whole list of things that I have been diagnosed with. I can talk about it more in depth in another video if that's something you're interested in, because I do think it's important to talk about mental health and not to keep it all in, which is something I have a hard time with. Sometimes I keep things in too much. All of my mental health issues have been amped up this last year, or year and a half, almost 2 years now. Like I said before, feeling isolated, depressed, And then it's just kind of been one thing after another. I moved in right before Christmas. Where I live is really cool. I mean, it's quiet for the most part. Literally have seen maybe like my neighbors, my upstairs neighbors 3-4 times. Everybody else I've never seen. I got a new cat, which is really cool. Like I said, this is their room, so they are just wild in it. In that regard, I'm like a lot happier, happy to have like a lot more space and whatnot. But I still live alone. Too, like my work schedule doesn't allow me to see friends. When I'm going to work, most people are getting ready to come home. Saturdays are the days other people are actually doing things and they have free time, and I work on Saturdays, so that makes it a little harder. So really my only time to see my friends is Sundays, and a lot of times on Sundays they are doing things for their kids, like they're going to swim meets and practices and whatnot, which no shade to anybody, like that's just the way it is, but it does make it hard for me. So I really savor those little moments where I actually get to see people. And like I said, I've been trying to work my way around it. I've been trying to like schedule my time around everybody else's time, but even that's really hard. I have to schedule time off if I want to see anyone. So I just feel really isolated a lot of the time. So I would be lying if I said like I'm in a good place mentally right now. Really exhausted. Like I said, I don't see my friends. I live alone. And cats are wonderful, but they also don't talk. So it's hard to come home and like if I've had a bad day at work, it's hard to come home and not have anybody to talk to about it. I do go to therapy, so I get that once a week, and so I can kind of just like let it all out there. What? You have food, honey? Do you want Butters to chase you? I think he's tired. Don't even get me started on dating. Like, I have had one weird year of dating. Yeah, so people are like, why don't you see if you can date? And it's like, one, when do I have time? It's hard enough to date, especially when you're in your 30s. I should do a whole video about that. Then you add the pandemic, you add, you know, your work schedule, you add your hobbies, you add, I don't want to do it anymore. I went on a date with a guy literally the day before lockdown. I think it was the night before. And we'd been talking for like a couple weeks, I think, at that point. And, you know, we met online and he seems really cool. He did have kids, which is fine, but they were a little older, and I was fine with that. Seemed to have a really good first date and everything. And then, like I said, the next day it was, you know, we were all in lockdown, and his job was kind of in question because of that. After our date, you know, I was trying to talk to him about it and like, how are things? What's going on with you? To be fair, I think that he was probably really stressed out. Although I did see him a little later on, so we met, I think on Bumble, maybe? And I saw him a little later on Tinder, and his profile picture was him without a shirt on. So I think he was just like a, let's be honest, a fuckboy. And so I don't think he was like really looking for anything anyway, which is fine. Didn't work out. So now I'm just kind of like at a point where I don't care. I'm not even trying to look. And my confidence is just like in the toilet right now. I'm just not feeling the best about myself. And partly because I have gained a lot of weight, which I know like shouldn't be an issue, right? I should do a whole video about that too. I'm still learning to accept where I am now, and but it is very frustrating when you know you are at a physical level and now you're not. I was running, I was ready to sign up for my half marathon, and a lot of things took that away from me. And so kind of since then, I've been trying to combat the issues that I have with my body. My internalized like fat phobia. Like I can look at my friends and be like, you're beautiful no matter what. And I truly believe that. But when it comes to myself, I have that. I still pick myself apart. So something I need to work on. So dating is kind of like trying to get back into, physical activities. It's just really hard when your body is just telling you no. As you get older, you can't do certain things, or it's really hard to get back to a level after being injured so many times, or like you get so old that your body just says, no, you can't do this anymore. I know that like physical activity is gonna like make me feel better ultimately, but you get into the cycle of like depression where you want to have the physical activity, you want to exercise, but you're also tired from the depression, although the depression would be a little less so if you did the physical activity. But then your body tells you, no, you can't do that. So my goal is now to finish a half marathon still. I am still trying to work on that goal. But now I have to realize that I am getting older. It's gonna take a lot longer for me to train. So my goal now is before I'm 40, I am going to run a half marathon. You heard me. Hold me accountable to that. Really hard to talk in two-liners, so give me a minute. Do they match? No. Do I care? Nope. I don't got nowhere to go. So what else is new? Like I said, I got a kitten. You probably heard them in the background. They're very wild. They're very energetic. Waffles loves his brother. They're most of the time getting along. They play a little rough sometimes. I just wanted Waffles to have like a little friend, because I could tell he was like getting depressed and lonely like me. That's another thing I feel bad about, is like I feel like I depress my cats sometimes. But they're good company, and the kitten Butters, he's sitting right here, and they're super sweet. He is like just a baby, just a sweet little angel. I mean, he's an instigator, so part of why the fights break out. It's nice though, it's comforting to come home to a purring kitten. Plans for this channel, I just want to keep making videos. It's kind of like a creative outlet for me, something that I don't get to use that much, and hopefully I can make stuff that people will want to watch. I know people are often saying that the beauty community is dying on YouTube, and that's fine, but I'm still gonna make what I want to make. And I have a lot of ideas, other than makeup too. I'd like to do crafts. maybe some like vlog style videos. I'd really like to do, and I've tried to do a vlog, like a running vlog, just to kind of motivate me. I always feel like I'm held accountable for like my training and everything when I post it online. So I'd like to do something with that, but like I said, I have a whole lot of videos that I've filmed. I just never posted, probably about 10, maybe 15, maybe 20. So yeah, that is something I'd like to do. So if you have any ideas of what you want to see, make sure you comment. I think the last time I looked, I had 46 subscribers, so that's really cool. I did buy a lot of makeup since I last posted. I have lost track of how many palettes I have. So some of them were gifted to me from friends, but this is one of them that my friend Katie gave me, so thank you, Katie. But I bought a lot. I bought a lot. So I have endless makeup to play with. I actually have 2 palettes on the way. So next week you might be seeing some of those. I got the Teresa's Dead Lethal collab. I bought the Natasha Denona Love palette, which I know I think I mentioned before in another video that I was like, I would never pay that much for Natasha Denona or anything, blah, blah, blah. It was on sale for like $32.50, I think. It was like half off. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get that. So I bought that. Ooh, I'll have to do like a video of like all my palettes, like my recent palettes that I've bought. Because I don't know who I think I am. I'm not rich, but I have justified it by this. You know, everybody has a hobby or collecting stuff. Some people collect shoes, some people collect jewelry or toy cars. I happen to collect makeup, and I think that's fine. Over the weekend when I was in the wedding, one of my uncles asked me if I was getting paid to do this. I was like, no, but it would be nice to, maybe one day. And he's like, I just don't want you to see you go into debt. Yeah, so I was just like, no, I'm fine, but I understand. It just makes me happy, so why not? And I do need to be careful about like buying makeup when I'm sad, because I've been doing a lot of that lately. I get this itch to like buy stuff whenever I'm like sitting alone at home and sad, and that's probably not a good idea. I need to channel that energy somewhere else. Not into buying stuff. And I have been better. I have been like curating my collection, do stuff that I actually want, not buying things that I know I'm not going to use, like neutral palettes. I don't normally buy neutral palettes. Something about this spoke to me. But I've learned that I like colorful makeup. For me, a lot of my colorful palettes have some neutrals, so that's enough for me. I don't need to go buy, you know, like the Natasha Denona retro palette. I have no interest in that. None. Everybody else is freaking out about it, and I'm like, it's fine. I have that color story like a million times over, so I'm good. So anyway, I'm done. Let me know what else you want to see from me on this channel. I've been thinking about starting a TikTok, but it really intimidates me because they're very short videos and it looks like they take a lot of work. And I also thought about like doing a TikTok where I'm practicing, you know, self-love and self-care, because I need more of that. Like saying one nice thing about myself every day or something like that. So if you have any ideas for that, let me know. Yeah, let me know what you want to see, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm back for a while. And fingers crossed, I get a new computer so I can make better quality content for you. Make sure you like and subscribe. I really, really, really appreciate everybody that is already here, all of my 46 of you or however many. Thank you so much. It's so weird that even 40 people want to see me do this. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers. Bye.